How can I get started in property? What would your top tips be? Now, that's a fantastic question. Hi there. Welcome to Life with Loise. My name is Loise. So glad of you to join me this evening for another video in the series of business tips and tricks with Loise. So before we get into the video, just a bit of housekeeping. Don't forget to click and subscribe and share our videos, and also don't forget to like and comment down below. Just in terms of like timetable itinerary, on a Wednesday I'll be featuring business tips and tricks. On a Friday there'll be the occasional blog or vlog where I'll be featuring a day in the life of Loise, like entrepreneur day or my business day. You'll be able to follow me up and down to my properties and see what I do in the daytime. And also on a Sunday, I'll be releasing fashion and lifestyle. So it's a variety of things that I do, guys, in terms of my lifestyle. So don't forget to click on your notification button so that you'll be the first to know. So let's get into the video. My last video was about how I left my 9-to-5 and became a business owner. So in the name of property. So from there, I got quite a few questions in my inbox, although I did invite you to ask questions, so you're more than welcome. I got a question from one young lady who asked me, let me just get my phone because the question's on my phone. Now it actually says here, and it's from Angel Wings DC. And Angel Wings DC asks, how can I get started in property? What would your top tips be? Now, that's a fantastic question. Absolutely fantastic question, because the world of property is a minefield. It's a huge, huge minefield. There's so many different parts of property. And where do you start? Where do you navigate from? Always start from the beginning, and most of the beginning of any business has a foundation, and from you've got the foundation, you then springboard off to other areas of that field, and you then niche down and specialize in the area you want to. So I would say, for my first tip, do you actually want to be the face of the business, the one that drives it, the one that has the passion, the one that actually, turns up, shows up, is always there? Or are you the kind of person that really doesn't want to be front facing? You want to get into property, but maybe you want to have it in a more passive sense. So maybe that means that you would then probably invest in property, but then give it over to an agent or a high street agent to manage that property. So you would just make passive income from the agent. There's different ways of doing it. It depends on what you want to do. So if you want to start that business and you want to be the face of the business, go full throttle, be the person, the director, the executive of the business, then I would say the first thing I would encourage you to do is to network. Get around like-minded people. Start going to network meetings. Start going to webinars. Start going to online meetings, especially now we're in the middle of lockdown, although we are slowly lifting out of it, and eventually network meetings will be opening up. In the meantime, don't hang about. Go online, go onto webinars, go onto property forums, have a nosy around, see what's going on, try and find out what is happening, and get yourself around successful people who know the industry. That is the best way to absorb and learn knowledge from people that have gone ahead of you, that have done it, that are successful in what they're doing, and will be able to give you solid advice and encourage you. I would always say, make sure that you network. Don't be intimidated by people that have got much more experience than you. Everybody had to start somewhere, and no question is a silly question. Isn't it better to ask a question than lose a whole load of money? So I would say, get around like-minded people, get around successful people, people that have gone further than you, and people that know the industry. Network with them. When they're speaking, listen keenly, understand what they're saying. And as I said, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be intimidated. People that love property, they love to talk about it. They'll be happy to share their knowledge with you and also give you little tips and guidance and pointers in terms of property. Whilst you're building your network, I would also say to you to build good, honest, solid relationships. The reason because, it's like anything in life. You don't just jump onto the first person you meet and then you invest money with them, or you take the wrong advice, or you go down the wrong path. Make sure that the people that you're connecting with have a solid, honest background, and that they are somebody that you could look up, or they come highly recommended, or they've been in the game a long time and their reputation is solid. Ensure you have good, strong relationships, honest ones, because in business, you need to be in business with people that have credibility, with people that, will walk the walk and they will deliver what they say they will deliver. The next tip I would give to you is to build on your education. This is so important. You need to immerse yourself in books, podcasts, webinars, different networking meetings, perhaps get a mentor or get onto a mastermind course. You need to be able to have the education, the solid underpinning knowledge in terms of property and what you want to do. Now, when you start off, you'll probably get a very broad spectrum, dip your toe in a little bit of everything until you actually find what is suitable for you. But it is so important to be educated. I would even suggest to you that while we're on lockdown, attend online seminars. There is so many. There's a particular marketing app called Eventbrite. Go onto Eventbrite, search for all the seminars that are going on in your local area, or even if you want to search for ones that are far away, because they're online, you can access them anywhere. Most of them are free. They don't really cost you anything, and you're able to plug in and learn. And it's also a platform where you possibly can get involved. If it's a webinar, you can probably get involved, ask questions, and you're there with somebody else who's learning. A lot of people, this is their way of learning how to get into property, and also it gives you ideas of what is for you and what isn't for you. And you haven't shelled out a whole lot of money or wasted a whole lot of time. It's something that's easily accessible from your computer in your own home. My next tip would be to you is to pick your strategy. Once you kind of have an idea what you want to do, narrow down your niche, narrow down the area, the strategy, the area of property that you would like to invest into. You need to make sure that you narrow it right down to the point where you can concentrate on that area. You don't want to be doing 5 or 6 strategies at the same time. That's not going to work. You need to pour your efforts and your energy into a particular strategy, but make sure it's the right way you want to go. Road test it for a while. Be around people that are doing that particular strategy. Some people even look at the rule of doing like an 80-20. So it might be that you're doing 80% of your core strategy that you want to do, and you might have 20% of the other. So for example, it might be that you want to go down the road of doing flips. Flips are where you actually buy a house below market value or a property below market value, and then you make your money when you bought it below market value. And when you've then done some refurbishment to the property, uplift, added value, you then sell it. When you sell it at the highest maximum price you can get. And that way, during that cycle of time, that property should have increased in value. You should have actually put an uplift on it in terms of pricing. And it may be that you want to do that 80% of the time. It may be 20% of the time you want to do SA, which is service accommodation. That is more for cash flow. So it depends on what you want to do, but you must know what it is that you actually want to end up doing in property. But don't rush into it. Do your research, do your underpinning knowledge, get around like-minded people, and make sure you dig and research into what the strategy is that will suit your lifestyle and the way you want to go forwards in property. And the last tip I would give, which sounds so cliche, cheesy, everybody says it, take action. I know it sounds obvious and it's just an easy word that slips off the tongue, but it's about taking those steps. And it might be an easy word to say, but taking those steps are big, but you need to do it. I did this for a long time. I actually procrastinated for a very long time. I actually got into my comfort zone, sat there for a little while with that little comfortable bit I was doing, and I didn't move it forward. If you don't move it forward, how are you then going to progress? When something feels uncomfortable, it's not normal to you, it's your usual day to day. That's when you know you're stepping outside your comfort zone. That's when you know you're taking action. Your taking action could be, I'm going to go visit an estate agent, or I'm going to visit a letting agent. Your taking action could be, I'm going to get myself educated, or I'm going to invest in a mentor, or get onto a mastermind. Whatever it is that you need to do to move yourself forward, take the bull by the horns. Just go for it. If property is something that you want to get into, I would say, consider the tips that I've given you, consider some of the things that I've answered, and take that step. Because at the end of the day, if it's a passion that you've got, like as I said in my previous video, when I left my job, I'll put the video links up above somewhere here. And when I left my job, I had to take steps and move it forward. But it didn't come overnight. It doesn't happen automatically. And sometimes it's the fear factor that holds us back. But once you know what you want to do, you move forward, you take those steps, and you make it happen. You knock it out the park. But don't forget, get around the right people. Stay focused, stay motivated, stay with it. Even when it looks a little doubtful, stay with it. Because anything worth fighting for doesn't come easy. So Angel Wing, I would say to you, those are my top tips if you want to get into property. Try those things for yourself, see where it takes you, and by all means, keep plugging in and keep looking at the videos, and you'll get more tips and tricks from Loise. So guys, that's it for today with the Q&A. But if you have any questions or anything you want to ask Loise, I'll be more than happy to answer. Probably once a month on a Wednesday, I'm going to be doing Q&As. So what you should do is put your question either on Instagram, or you can drop your question down below in the YouTube video, and then I will then pick the questions and answer it sort of in the following week, so you wouldn't have to hang around too long waiting for your response. But guys, whatever you're doing, have a wonderful week. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Don't forget to put on the notifications button so that you'll be notified every time a video comes out. So have a wonderful week, guys, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.